なんかなんでだろうっていうのがすごい知りたいですね。
ペット自身が思っているもの、飼い主さん一番大切な人がこうあってほしいという、その方にしかわからない答えなので、動き出すきっかけになれるように。
Digicel TV, home of Rugby League. Dial *515# to subscribe. The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to TV1 News. I'm Carol Kidu Jr. In this edition, US to recover war remains, Pariwa urged to work with PA, and Gurias set to meet old rivals. Ong Yu Huat was officially welcomed as the new non-resident High Commissioner of Singapore to Papua New Guinea during a credentials presentation ceremony held at the Government House. Governor General Sir Bob Dadai accepted Huat's credentials and expressed optimism for enhanced bilateral cooperation in various sectors, including climate change and economic development. The Governor-General also acknowledged Singapore's contributions through development programs and the Sparks Initiative. High Commissioner Huat reaffirmed the strong diplomatic ties between the two nations dating back to 1976 and pledged to build upon the existing foundation to further strengthen their relationship. Both nations anticipate increased collaboration on international platforms and mutual development goals. Prime Minister James Marape has called on the United States of America to collect its war remnants littered across PNG and the Pacific, including those of servicemen who died on PNG soil. Marape's call comes following discriminatory comments by the USA President Joe Biden, who appeared to imply that his uncle was eaten by cannibals in Papua New Guinea.
According to the Time magazine, Biden, while visiting a war memorial at Pennsylvania last week, recounted the story of his uncle who died during World War II in a plane crash over the Pacific Ocean near Papua New Guinea when Biden was just 1 year old. And in his speech said his uncle's plane was shot and his body never found, however quoting that this part of the world was known for cannibalism.
He flew those single-engine planes as reconnaissance over war zones. He got shot down in New Guinea, and they never found the body because there were a lot of cannibals for real in that part of New Guinea.
PNG Prime Minister James Marape, initially when responding to media queries on Sunday, took this lightly and said to find out more.
President Biden, sometimes he's also known for speaking off the cuff like me, but we await on his embassies and his office and response on this one. I want to encourage Papua New Guineans to be bigger than a line or two or a word of praise. We've had occasions in which leaders speak off the cuff and they make off the cuff remarks. So, President Biden, I'm yet to confirm from his office or himself or his embassy as to what he spoke, but I don't personally, as Prime Minister of our country.
However, he released a statement yesterday and said while Biden's remarks may have been a slip of the tongue, PNG does not deserve to be labeled as such. He said World War II was not the doing of PNG people, and they should not be dragged into something they never created. He reminded the US that the remains of World War II lie scattered all over PNG, including the plane that carried President Biden's uncle, and called on them to retrieve the remains of the war. Meantime, the details of Biden's story retelling weren't exactly right. U.S. defense records show that Finnegan and two others went missing after the plane, for unknown reasons, was forced to ditch in the ocean, and that no trace of the aircraft was found, while the White House confirmed that the crash occurred over the Pacific near New Guinea, but not in it. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
The U.S. Embassy in Papua New Guinea has come out in defense of President Biden's statements, which implied PNG people as cannibals. The embassy in a statement said Biden used his uncle's story to present a case to honor the sacred commitment to equip those who are sent to war. The embassy highlighted that PNG and USA shared sacrifices of World War II to the ongoing partnerships they have today in advancing democracy and regional stability. It stated they are committed to locating and recovering World War II remains in PNG by working closely with the National Museum and Art Gallery and the PNG Defense Force to locate missing service members. The graduation of the University of Papua New Guinea continued into day 2 today at the Sir John Guy Stadium in Port Moresby, with a total of 146 graduates graduating with Bachelor of Law and Diploma in Law Prosecutions.
During the second day of UPNG's 69th graduation, out of the 146, 39 received a Bachelor of Law degree, 6 were awarded diplomas in prosecution, and 1 graduated with a doctor in philosophy. In his congratulatory message, the Pro-Chancellor of UPNG, Goya Gillang, challenged the graduates to contribute to the development of PNG and provide ethical services to the people of PNG, which is expected from them.
Only 146 of you, but the people will be dependent upon you, how you utilize the knowledge, skills, and the expertise that you acquire in the profession of law will benefit so many.
Gillang said the challenges in the real world will be different from the challenges they faced in school. Therefore, planning of what the future will bring to them is a key strategy they must impart now for their future.
That you will face in the next phase of your journey will be different. Your parents, taxpayers, all the stakeholders have provided so much for you during your formative years of growing up, schooling, and to arrive at this destination for your graduation.
He said the graduates will venture into public institutions like the State's Solicitor Office, Public Solicitor's Office, and Attorney General, while others will venture into private practice. He urged them to serve with integrity and uphold ethical standards at all times in their professional career.
Have a plan or strategy. That is where you want to go. That is the destination. I keep saying every speeches that I give on such occasions like this, I use this analogy, the destination that you want to arrive.
The Vice-Chancellor Cecilia Nembob urged graduates to go out there and be agents of change.
University of Papua New Guinea, every student and every member of staff is encouraged to identify their respective roles and responsibilities and how each person can achieve their individual aspirations by working together to achieve the aspirations of the university and that of our beautiful country.
Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
For the first time after almost 60 years, a Papua New Guinean graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Alfred Minay, 57 years old, hails from Kawaliap village in Manus province, broke barriers to being the first Papua New Guinean to receive a PhD on the second day of the University of Papua New Guinea graduation under the School of Law today.
Dr. Alfred Minay graduated with a Master's in Law and Research medicine, and social science. Mine continued to strive for excellence with a vision to one day he will become the first Papua New Guinean to graduate with the doctor in philosophy. Today, he achieved his dream at the 69th University of Papua New Guinea graduation under the School of Law. According to Dr. Mine, the Doctor of Philosophy is a collection of Masters of Law and Research, Medicine, and Social Science.
I have ventured into a multidisciplinary studies. I do law with medicine and social science. It's a new area where I put the three areas together to making into just one area. In other words, when you read my work, you will find that it is just one area I'm writing on.
Dr. Mine said his journey to get a PhD in an institution in PNG is not easy due to his level of expertise in this field of study, including the financial constraints it costs to hire supervisors overseas.
It's not easy to do a PhD at UPNG or any university in PNG. A lot of work must come from the candidate or the student himself. You are asked to spend a lot of money on doing your research with field work, and in fact, you have to pay people who provide advice and things like this. So it was not easy.
However, these challenges did not stop Dr. Mine from coming this far. He further said the PhD received today was proudly sponsored by the university, who has supported him financially during his 5 years of study. Prior to his achievements, Dr. Mine supported the university as a lecturer at the law school, and he is currently involved in writing a thesis relating to law, medicine, and social science. He has also written few books pertaining to his area of study. Recipa, TVWAN News.
You're watching TVWAN News. Frank Lau asks for the benefit of a doubt as he resumes PA role.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
The Toyota JD Hi-Ace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hi-Ace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hi-Ace bus and experience the Hi-Ace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectation.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SP Lager, Bunyam Yumi.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like it more.
Superstition ain't the way. background. It's where the NRL takes a back seat to something far more important.
A lot of excitement tempered with reverence.
That's amazing skill by Swaliki, and Manu was waiting and accepts gleefully.
Sunday premiere.
सुई पटक सन्नाटा अंधेरा गुप हीरो मसाल लेके पुरानी हवेली में दाखिल होता है बत्ती गुल हो जा
दिल वाले दुल्हनियां दे जाएंगे साला टाइटल ही फ्लॉप है
बड़ा राइटर बनने चला है उल्लू का
अगर 1 महीने में इस लड़के को नहीं ढूंढ निकाला तो ऐसी जगह ट्रांसफर करवाऊंगी जहां घूस तो क्या घास भी खाने को नहीं मिलेगी
Goom Ketu, Sunday 5th May at these times. Only on ZTV.
Welcome back. Frank Lau is back in Madang to resume the role of provincial administrator. He is out on a 20,000 kina bail awaiting court to answer to several allegations including abuse of office and breach of the Finance Management Act. He was greeted at the Madang airport by supporters, staff of the provincial administration and members of the community.
Frank Lau has resumed his position as Provincial Administrator of Madang Province. He arrived in Madang on Monday 22nd April to a very epic crowd consisting staff of the provincial administration, supporters and members of the community. He is also on a 20,000 kina bail after being arrested in Port Moresby for allegations relating to abuse of office, stealing by false pretense and breach of the Finance Management Act. Lau also awaits the review of the National Executive Council's February decision to terminate his contract.
The office block working service now. Look at him people with Madang. The work must run. You may not block him because you've got a personal interest with me.
Bell region landowners of the Madang Urban LNG are for Lau. Spokesman Andrew Mapio performed a customary welcome for Mr. Lau, which included the spitting and sharing of betel nut with the administration hierarchy, the Madang governor, his deputy and the deputy PA. Mapio said the Bell people want this matter resolved.
Now moving province again, we have suffered enough.
Representing women, Margaret Stephen said the infighting over the provincial administrator role is causing hindrance to development projects and programs including the Pacific Maritime Industrial Zone project in Madang.
And Honorable Ramsey Parwa, you come down. Get your egos down, you come down, the holy man, blow administrator, you do blah blah, one time blah 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 people, blah Madang.
Human rights advocate Stephen Asivo is calling on the general public of Madang province, staff of the administration and external parties to respect the rule of law. Mr. Asivo urged everyone to take heed of the court order in place defining the status quo and let Mr. Lau carry on his duty in ensuring that administrative affairs are tended to.
And people of Madang, no Karakirangi. When you have political power, you can make decision, but you cannot implement it until and when you have a right administrator sitting down there.
Lau said there are many issues that need urgent attention and that he would like to see while he has the platform.
The province must need to move forward. No one only big province. Province must go. You feel say you you must move.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Frank Lau was arrested and charged by police on allegations of fraud in Port Moresby on April 18th by the National Fraud Squad. He was formally charged with 5 counts relating to conspiracy, abuse of office, stealing by false pretense, and breach of the Finance Management Act. Commander of Northern Division and Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police NCD Central, Peter Guinness, said a detective attached to the Madang Police came to Port Moresby and was assisted by members of the National Fraud Squad to make the arrest. Lau, who is now in Madang, is calling on the office of the governor to give him the benefit of the doubt and allow him to address a few agendas that need his attention. Lau said he would like the cash fund certificates to be released so that funding can be available for urgent work to commence. He also called on police to remain neutral in this situation whilst complying to the court order that is in place.
January yet, we issue warrants for most of the time almost the budget. 3, 4, 5, 6 months, not 4 months. Budget officer promised and no CFC no come out. Why the district officer lost CFC come out? CFC about to finance was cash fund certificate. And most money around, and money now, and payments are come out. CFC no come out. Too much politics.
South Pacific Brewery donated 11,000 kina worth of diesel fuel to aid disaster relief efforts in East Sepik Province. The donation given to the East Sepik Provincial Disasters Office was aimed at helping the region recover from recent disasters. SB Brewery's Corporate Affairs Manager John Nilkare emphasized the company's commitment to supporting the affected communities and praised the Provincial Disaster Committee for their work. The diesel was received by Alphonse Kami, Deputy Provincial Administrator of Social Services, who expressed gratitude for the assistance. Maya Resources Limited announced on April 22, 2024, that it has secured $155 million, which is almost 570 million kina, to fund the construction of the Central Line project in Papua New Guinea. This funding combines US $150 million in debt financing from Appian Capital Advisory LLP and a $40 million over 147 million in kina equity investment from Vision Blue Resources, announced in November 2023. Maya Resources Limited has clinched a significant funding deal worth $155 million, which totals almost 570 million kina, for its Central Line project, aimed at bolstering domestic manufacturing and green metals processing in Papua New Guinea. The investment will enable Maya Resources to complete the construction of the CLP with an initial capacity to produce 400,000 tons of quicklime annually. Additional funding of $22.2 million, which is over 81 million kina, from Appian is earmarked for future expansion of the project, which could potentially double the production capacity and associated earnings. The project, located in Maya's single factory special economic zone near major development projects, including the PNG LNG and Papua LNG developments, aims to start production in 18 months post-financial closure. It is expected to significantly boost domestic manufacturing and displace imported lime products, creating hundreds of jobs and supporting local infrastructure developments. Maya's Managing Director Paul Mulder highlighted the project's transformative impact on local communities and its contribution to the region's clean energy transition.
The funding has been secured, so the funding is waiting deployment. And that funding has a number of conditions precedent that need to be met that we'll be working with the PNG government on over the next couple of months to finalise those. The encouraging thing is most of the work, these conditions precedents have largely been completed. There are some things still that need to do and certain things that still need to happen. Once that occurs, then the project will commence. The objective of, I guess, the session we had today with the landowners was just to explain the phases of where we are today, what needs to happen, and really the objective of the information provided is that funding is available to be deployed subject to meeting conditions precedent. In parallel with that, we'll work with the landowners on getting a number of different things done, like the consultative forum, which we've been working on for a long time with the landowners to get the government to convene that.
Michael W. Sherb, CEO of Appian Capital, also expressed enthusiasm about their involvement in what he described as a pivotal development for the industrial sector in Papua New Guinea. The Central Line project is set to become a cornerstone in the region's green metals processing and manufacturing capabilities, aligning with global energy transition goals. And now to the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2649 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2559 US, $0.3942 Australian dollars, €0.2327 euro and 38.33 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, palm oil and crude oil closed the day higher, gold, coffee, cocoa and copper the day lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. After the break, an update on the Kokoda Walk with Prime Minister James Marape and Anthony Albanese, and what's making the headlines in other regional news. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic Kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for give chicken a great kumutu. Sip, sip, da moo moo, yes, magic on you.
Magic, the taste PNG loves.
All Mama Flame is story all same.
Me say you sing flame flower long one yem. Me say me Kim Kai Kai belong family belong me. You go more yet.
Man belong me say like him flower balls belong me what them cover war na spring onion. All pikinini belong me say like him to mas pineapple donut me say walk him lo house. Ne make kumu mix him what them cow na karamapim long flower.
Tasty hash browns.
Time is kelly one time all harapela Kai Kai. Me say kiss him more Kai Kai long all get a toya me tromoy one time flame flower.
You ina baking more one time flame flower.
Harimol got the rice lovers. Me plaka 300,000 kina scale school money long win him. Sans belong you win him 1,000 kina. 300 per lucky line by winning inside long 4 plus fortnight. Sans belong you win a big plus thread. By 1 kg he go in a 20 kg scale or ori rice. Cut him this stamp na put him inside long envelope and the full name na contact details long you. Na drop him inside long entry box long store. Promotion by Pinis long March 29, 2024. Hurry up na win big plus 1 scale na ori rice. Piani mi long social media long save more. Terms not conditionista.
Hardware House is more than just a store. It is where quality meets affordability, where culture is proudly celebrated. Spanning 9 provinces, we pride ourselves in offering top-notch customer support and services. We're more than just a store. We're more than a brand. We are Hardware House.
WWE Universe, this is WWE superstar Shayna Baszler, the Queen of Spades.
I'm here to set it all on fire.
Watch WWE on Digicel TV.
Does anybody know any English? No? Oh my God, this is crazy. This changes everything.
If they have an interest with the same girl, this is going to turn into a competition. Who's next? Who's going to decide to pack their bags and leave?
Speechless, literally.
Love and Translation, tonight 8:30 on TLC.
Welcome back. Prime Ministers Anthony Albanese and James Marape completed the first leg of the Kokoda Walk today, starting the 15-kilometer walk at Kokoda and ending at Deniki village in the highlands of PNG's northern province. Prime Ministers Albanese and Marape arrived in Kokoda this morning in separate helicopter flights and were welcomed respectively by the Northern Governor Gary Juffa in the Oro Way. A small ceremony was later held at the Kokoda station to mark the start of the walk. In here, Marape stressed the long relationship PNG enjoys with Australia, sharing the rich history of war, and highlighted the different projects earmarked for this district through Australia government funding. Northern Governor Gary Juffa, while acknowledging the history PNG shares with Australia, also highlighted the new battle of climate change being faced by PNG and how Australia as the big brother can help leverage PNG's voice at the global stage. Meantime, the team will start the second leg of the walk tomorrow from Deniki to Isurava, where they will spend the night and mark the Anzac Day on Thursday morning with a dawn service at Isurava Memorial before flying back to Port Moresby. There are renewed calls for the state government to introduce drug testing services after a new class of highly potent synthetic opioids were detected in Australia. Health experts are warning an influx of the contaminated drugs could lead to a massive rise in overdose deaths.
Former heroin user Mark has seen firsthand how dangerous tainted drugs can be after watching a friend almost die from taking cocaine purchased on the dark web.
By the time I got there, she had blue lips. She was about to overdose. I believe that it had fentanyl in it for sure.
It was a close call, he says, that could have been avoided.
If she could have gone somewhere and got it checked, well, she probably wouldn't have sniffed some.
Calls for drug testing aren't new, most recently following a spate of overdoses at Melbourne festivals. What is new is a type of synthetic opioids called nisazines, now being found in Australia.
There are over 500 overdoses in general in Victoria per year, and so if these synthetic opioids take hold in our market, that will skyrocket.
Up to 50 times stronger than fentanyl and up to 500 times stronger than heroin, nisazines have swept through the US and UK.
Once these very potent opioids dominate the drug market, there's been a very rapid escalation in deaths over there.
In Victoria, there have been at least 16 fatal overdoses involving nisazines since the start of 2021. In that time, the state's coroners have recommended drug testing programs be introduced 5 times.
It's very easy to recognise these drugs if you're able to take your drugs to a drug checking service.
But experts also believe more needs to be done, including the decriminalisation of drugs, increased access to naloxone, a drug that reverses the effects of opioids, and more medically supervised injecting rooms.
If we upscale overdose prevention strategies, we will save lives whether or not we have nitazines arrive.
The government says it has no current plans to trial drug checking.
In other regional news, lobbying to form Solomon Islands' next government is intensifying. With only 4 more seats in the 50-member parliament yet to be declared, there is no outright winner. As of Monday, the 2 largest blocs in the winner's circle, Independents and the incumbent Prime Minister Manasseh Sogavares, our party, were tied with 12 MPs each. At this stage, it's impossible to predict the final form of the coalition, as MPs can move freely between the different camps. Meanwhile, losing candidates are already preparing election petitions ahead of a 30-day window for submissions, which opens once all the election results are in. Accused triple murderer Erin Patterson's case is facing lengthy delays, with her lawyers wanting the matter to stay in the regional courts for now. That's despite a magistrate's warning it could mean a committal hearing might not happen until next year. She briefly appeared today in a Latrobe Valley court for the first time since she was charged in November over a mushroom lunch which left 3 people dead and another gravely ill.
In prison blue and staring into the camera, Erin Patterson appeared via video before a magistrate in Morwell. Charged with 3 counts of murder over the now infamous mushroom lunch, the 49-year-old wasn't required to say anything during the 10-minute hearing. But the legal process could be drawn out, with Ms Patterson's defence team hoping to keep proceedings in the regional court. Magistrate Tim Walsh asking the defence, does she understand it won't be this year? Her lawyers responding, if it has to be next year, Ms Patterson is happy to wait for that. The magistrate today saying the brief was voluminous and the committal hearing could take up to 3 weeks. Magistrate Tim Walsh offered to fast-track the case to the Supreme Court in Melbourne. However, lawyers for Ms Patterson said they wanted the next stage to remain here in the Latrobe Valley, as many of the witnesses they intend to call are from here, as is Ms Patterson. The 49-year-old has been on remand since November, charged with 3 counts of murder and 5 counts of attempted murder. The murder charges relate to a beef Wellington lunch she hosted at her home in Leongatha in July last year. A week after the lunch, 3 of the guests died, her former parents-in-law, Gail and Don Patterson, and Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson. Heather's husband, Ian Wilkinson, survived the lunch, spending weeks recovering. 2 of the attempted murder charges relate to Ian Wilkinson and Simon Patterson, Erin's ex-husband, who was invited to the lunch but did not go. The other attempted murder charges relate to Simon Patterson on separate dates in 2021 and 2022. Erin Patterson has always maintained her innocence. She will return to the Latrobe Valley Magistrates Court for a committal mention on May 7th.
An independent review of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency finds robust structures to ensure compliance with humanitarian principles of neutrality but recommends further improvements. The report found Israel had provided no evidence that more than 450 staff were military operatives in terrorist groups. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called for the UNRWA to be shut down. Israel is calling for an end to support for the agency, while international experts warn of imminent famine in Gaza. And that ends the news segment. When we come back, corporate volleyball heats up and Gurias regroup.
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennau, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
Life is filled with unexpected twists and turns. But as a public servant, your healthcare, life insurance, and family security matters most. Introducing the Public Service New Care Association, PSNA, your life's partner in healthcare, life insurance, and guaranteed financial security. With PSNA, you receive quality healthcare services and immediate payment coverage using our smart card. Join the Public Service New Care Association today and experience the benefits that matter most. We are here for you today and tomorrow. PSNA, your partner in health and future security.
Many miracles are happening, and especially happening instantly.
2008, I used to have problem with my legs, and I was suffering with my legs for 15 years.
I was fighting for my life.
possessed by evil spirits 3 times.
I couldn't see anything.
So now you're good.
I'm good.
Upon coming to the Lord Jesus, they are seeing results. They are seeing changes. The same God wants to do for you.
Catch Tom and Jerry in New York every Monday to Friday at 4:15 p.m. on HBO Family.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition Round 6 matches on 21st April 2024 delivered thrilling encounters across all pools. The competition is heating up as teams showcase their skills and determination.
In the Pool A men's division of the Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Competition, front-runners NCDC proved a better side against Brian Bell in a 2-0 victory. Money Plus secured a 2-0 sets win against PNG. IRC1 emerged victorious against PPP, winning 2-0. Department of Works and Highway dominated GIS with a 2-0 win. Digicel and Kina Bank registered a loss for the day. In the women's Pool A results, Department of Works and Highway defeated GIS 2-0. NCDC won Brian Bell 2-1. Digicel overcame NWTL 2-1. Kina Bank outplayed Koroboro 2-0. IRC1 were dominant, winning 2-0. And New Sky beat Aspen Medical 2-0. In Pool B, C and D, results also showed a close showdown between rivals as many teams who performed poorly at the start of the competition have begun showcasing their full ability this season. Meantime, Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball has registered interest in participating at the 13th Pan Pacific Masters Games to be held from November 1st to the 10th in Gold Coast, Australia. The Masters sport will showcase competition in more than 40 sports, with thousands of athletes from around the world together to compete in the world's biggest and best biennial Masters Games. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
The 2024 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup season has kicked off on the right footing for Foundation Intercity franchise Money Plus NCDC Port Moresby Vipers, following back-to-back wins on the trot in the 2 opening rounds of the competition. In round 1, Vipers overcame the 2023 Grand Final runner-ups Bintango Gorokalahani's 22 points to 16. In their round 2 match last week, Vipers surged home, beating Asila Wagi Tumbe 20 points to 12.
Under former Vipers player turned coach Charlie Wabo, the 2024 season couldn't have a better start than stringing together back-to-back wins, elevating them to the top of the competition table on 4 points. Against Wagi Tumbe on Sunday, the star-studded Vipers lineup had opportunities to build pressure and create scoring chances, however shot themselves in the foot with too many handling errors that allowed frustrations to creep into the game. Tumbe back at the NFS on Sunday for the first time after sitting out the 2023 season did not look out of place and put their bodies on the line to match the Vipers' big man before elusive fullback Sylvester Bulu scored first for his double only 6 minutes into the first half to hit the front 6-0. The match turned into an arm wrestle with poor ball security. Vipers suffered a blow when Monkey recruit Super Kukote was knocked out cold in a head clash with Tumbe's second rower Job Opai, who was placed on report for dangerous contact. Tumbe was next to score after Vipers center Mesak Wallen tapped the ball back into the waiting arms of second rower Koken Abba to level the scores. The Vipers got a penalty before halftime to lead 8-6. The second half started similarly to the first when Vipers fullback Bulus scored first from a better Vipers attacking set. Tumbe responded through former hunter Jesse Matthew linking up with center Jonah Moti, who popped the pass back on the inside to Jesse for a touchdown. At the post-match interviews, both coaches expressed similar testaments about their team's performances and need to polish up in round 3.
Thank you. Just like we have some opportunities to score, but like we miss our chance to score. Too many errors and like there's plenty of chances to score, but actually we cause a lot of errors. So that's why we miss our chance to score.
It's a tough game with the Wagitumbe. Our first half was around 15 minutes. The boys, the boys going good, but the Wagitumbe, they come strong after the 15 minutes, and it was a tough game. Scrappy win, but the win is a winner. Thank you.
Me, I'm a slow. Give me play, but we play making plenty. Draw balls. One anyway. We play go back again. Training field. Fix him. Come back again strong next week.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
East New Britain Agback Couriers are set to grind this week after they were humbled by a revamped Gas Resources Central Dabari side last Saturday, forcing them to a 12-all draw at full-time. Couriers will back up again this weekend when they meet traditional rivals Wampna Mount Hagen Eagles in round 3 of the Digital ExxonMobil Cup on Sunday in Port Moresby.
Couriers' new coach, Jesse Alonga, says there is no panic stations after his side was held to a 12-all draw last Saturday by an equally strong Dabari side. Alunga's journey as head coach has got off to a promising start after knocking off reigning premiers Miox in round 1. However, it's back to the drawing board this week, mainly reviewing the attacking structure and set pieces which he thought let them down against the Baris. Defensively, he commended his boys for putting an extra effort to shut out the Bari speedsters on several occasions. In saying that, Alunga highlighted tightening up the ruck area, which was exposed on several occasions last week, which they need to fix up before the next game.
Weakness lo weekend game go finish milugum lo is attack side I think plan attack good plan running good lines na attack game line lo also now this weekend we go through all attacking on drills defense mi plan lo rack area belum plan you kay open to mas come inside na ibi makas by holding line of Guanta Maria and Babylon to rack area.
Though the team picked up a few minor bruises from the weekend, Alunga's only injury concern is star center Emil Benjamin will be out for a week at least after picking up a leg injury. His replacement will be announced after they finalize the training this week.
Okay, play injury Emil, yeah. Emil ni belum mas bagarap lik na bablo kompla change sa solo weekend 18 pla magin solo play na mi plaka mas play 8 pla all stop outside standby lo really injury or anything happens all back come inside plaka all big pla magi pro sa te imsen ulalom mi pla luglug wanam time lagi mem game blogol kem am good lo magi play hamba play alright. Maybe kalau biting masa mami game game lo na milik kumawam go. One time sa the lipi lipirin em tu all dulu magi mi plak semua kam standby mo solo. Anything happens, we will put them on side.
Commenting on the Couriers' spine, Coach Alunga is happy with the leadership and halves combination of Wesley Batari, son Makalunga and dummy half Nathan Tete, who have been playing together for the past 3 years, which is paying off.
You know, stalong plata mountain is 3 years now. Stalong them now all got good pla. Is understanding go come all namel all.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Hopes of a Queensland state of origin recall are all but over for Kalen Ponga due to the Newcastle fullback suffering a foot injury that will wipe him out for a big chunk of the NRL season. The Knights confirmed on Monday that Ponga had sustained a Liz Frank injury in his right foot in Sunday's 36-12 loss to Canterbury.
While Newcastle did not specify a timeline for Ponga's return, the club's football boss Peter Parr said it would be months rather than weeks until the number one was back on the field. The loss of Ponga comes as Newcastle struggles to rediscover the electrifying form that threw them into last year's final series. Rookie David Armstrong played in New South Wales Cup as a fullback last week. Coach Adam O'Brien also has experienced campaigner Dane Gagai as an option to fill the jersey. Ponga's injury is also a major setback for Queensland coach Billy Slater as he looks to maintain the Maroons' origin stranglehold. Ponga set out last year's series following a repeated concussion issues, but his form at the back end of last season, which led to him being awarded the Dally M medal, had created a welcome headache for Slater. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
And that's all we have for sports. Next up, we have the weather forecast for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Southern regions, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possible few showers and thunderstorms. Momase, isolated showers and thunderstorms. Wewak and Vanimo, mostly fine. New Guinea Islands, isolated showers and thunderstorms. Lorengau, partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Goroka, Bands and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea, seas slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas slight with east to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Islands, to Kerma, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samarai Islands. Seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Finchafen through Vitias Strait to Siasi and Long Islands. Seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.